hauled himself in had now escalated. Could his Honda outrace a van? He really did not want to find out. He sped down to the next stoplight, slowed enough to make the right turn, turned again at the very next right a block down, then and another immediate right, now inside a housing tract with no idea if there was a way out. He saw up ahead that there was, straight to Jefferson Boulevard, where he had just picked up the woman. Had the van already gone by, or was it still coming? Instinctively, he turned off the headlights while coasting, trying to decide what to do when the van shot by and out of sight down Jefferson, probably making a right at the very same light he had taken. He went quickly to the corner and stopped, checking to the right. The van was gone, before making the left back onto Jefferson. He flicked the headlights back on as they darted to the intersection where all this had started for him. He made another right. He had no idea what they were going to do. The woman had been hyperventilating, huffing and puffing like a runaway freight train going downhill too quickly, but she seemed to be easing out of the danger zone. Are you okay? He knew it was a dumb question, but one he had to ask in case there was something worse than what was obvious. She was sitting back in the seat, face toward the roof, eyes closed, hands clutching the edge of her seat, breathing hard. She only nodded forcefully to answer his question. At the next light, he made a left, heading for the freeway, and dared another look at his passenger. Her left arm was not the only limb with blood. It just had the most. Both of her knees, as well as her forehead and nose, were obscured by a combination of blood and dirt, and he saw she was physically shaking. He knew next to nothing about medicine or first aid, but he did know that shaking wasn't good. It could mean she was cold, or she was going into shock. I'll take you to a hospital to get you some help and— No! She barked harshly, sounding just like Linda Blair in The Exorcist, with a strange, angry, almost disembodied voice. Okay, he said, doubtfully, stealing another glance at her, wondering again if the banker was the good guy. Why not? She was still breathing too hard to make decent conversation, but managed to answer in a fitful burst of syllables. Linda Blair was gone, replaced by a breathy, afflaued Kathleen Turner. They'll find me. Okay, he said again, trying to think. No police? Oh, no. Please, no. All right, then we'll go to my place, I guess. She nodded, agreeing. He checked the rearview mirror again before making the turn onto the freeway, heading north, riding in silence for a while as her breathing came into a normal range, her body relaxing, hands no longer gripping the seat, the shaking spell seemingly over, or at least subsided. Thank you, she said in a pleasant voice that might have been her real one. Oh, no problem. That wasn't really what he wanted to say, but don't mention it was too offhanded. Was the banker a cop? Peripherally, he could see her turn her head to look at him, and the question, what does that mean, was very clear. Of course, she was right. Was the banker a cop? Was the dog a cat? Was the sunshine an airplane? He glanced at her and tried again. Was the guy chasing you a cop? No. And you don't want to go to the police? No, she said curtly, closing the subject. He wanted to help, but there was a point when people get so overwhelmed that they shut everybody off, and he sensed she had reached that edge. Well, I'm Aaron Montaine, by the way. He paused. You don't have to tell me who you are if you don't want to. I just don't want you to think I'm some flake who happened along. I am a flake. I just don't want you to think that. There were several seconds before she could say anything. Well, that's good to know. She might have smiled, but he didn't check. I'm Jenny. Well, nice to meet you, Jenny. They fell into silence again as the lights of downtown Los Angeles sparkled up ahead, still some 10 miles away, and Aaron Montaine wondered what he had gotten himself into. Chapter 2. Not Zurich. Hello? Jerome Wheat said, answering halfway through the first ring. For some reason, he tried to sound as if he had been awake. Didn't ring, not once. Did it ring on that end? Oh, yes, he said, disoriented. He didn't recognize the voice. It was a male. That was all he knew. Well, of course it did. You're just extremely quick at answering. What sign are you?